Okay, here's how this'll work. I'll show you a picture of a little-known or underrated character and give you a few to guess who it is. After I tell you who they are, I'll talk a little bit about them. Anyway, this is your first time, this is my first time. Let's cut our teeth on an easy one. That's right, it's Janine Melnitz from the Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters! If it goes bump in the night, we'll make it right.
Ah, the Ghostbusters. They need no introduction. But I don't think the same can be said for Janine, though. People tend to overlook her despite her presence in the movies and shows.
Story of my life.
And since the Ghostbusters was one of the first shows I saw, Janine was one of the first female characters I was exposed to. It's funny, back then I was like, yeah, Ghostbusters! And now I'm like, yeah, whoa, is that skirt always that short? Plus she played an important role as secretary and bookkeeper for the Ghostbusters. And besides, who is going to answer the phone and press that button? Not a man, I can tell you that much.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
I really liked Janine. She had her own stories, saved the day once or twice, and was a late-night talk show hostess, apparently. Besides, girls in glasses are hot. And when both the nerd and the nostalgia critic failed to mention anything about her when they did their own Ghostbusters spiels, I thought this was the perfect time to give Janine her own retrospective.
At least someone appreciates me around here.
But I can't really blame them. It's not like we got the best introduction to Janine.
Ghostbusters, what do you want?
Janine was played by Annie Potts, one of the girls from Designing Women. What do you mean, which one? I don't know. I never watched it. Through most of the movie, she appears to be just an incidental character with the easiest temp job in the world.
Any calls?
No.
Any messages?
No.
Any customers?
No, Dr. Venkman.
But even with limited screen time, she made an impression with her distinctive voice and interesting dialogue.
Do you believe in UFOs, astral projections, mental telepathy, ESP, clairvoyance, spirit photography, telekinetic movement, full trance mediums, the Loch Ness Monster, and the theory of Atlantis?
And it was also implied that there might have been something between her and Egon.
I read a lot myself. Some people think I'm too intellectual, but I think it's a fabulous way to spend your spare time. I also play racquetball. Do you have any hobbies?
I collect spores, molds, and fungus. Pretty nasty, if you ask me.
Okay, so it wasn't like that, but there was a touching exchange between the two before the showdown with Gozer. However, it ended up on the cutting room floor. But they sure milked the possibilities when it came time to make the animated series. But like most movies that became animated shows, the transition was not pure. Like the Ghostbusters' change of hair color, for example. It was an aesthetic choice so that each Ghostbuster could look more distinctive. But come on, in the movie Hudson's hair is charcoal, while in the cartoon they obviously changed it to Mars Black. Things get dropped and things get picked up, and what Janine dropped was the librarian look, and what she picked up was a short skirt, fitting top, and high heels, taking corporate casual to the ultimate level. Aside from the oddly pointed glasses and a hair flip that would make the dude in suede look twice, she was pretty damn hot. Or maybe that was just because she was the only regular female on the show, since Dana Barrett never appeared in the cartoon series. Sorry, Peter.
Hey, what did I do? Wait!
In the cartoon, Janine was depicted as less of an apathetic outsider and more of an enthusiastic member of the team, going so far as to give her the occasional desire to be a Ghostbuster herself.
I'm sorry.
And as the series progressed, it was also implied that she gained a working knowledge of all the Ghostbusters' equipment, so you can say she really knew her way around the firehouse.
Okay, I'll show you where the bathroom is.
And remember to jiggle the handle. And if you're going to put anything in the fridge, write your name on it first, or some asshole named Zool will take it.
And if you look close enough, you just may see that attraction to Egon that I was talking about earlier.
Egon! Oh, Egon! Good night, Egon. Oh, Egon! Egon! Oh, Egon. Isn't this romantic? Egon, I love you most of all.
Do you think Janine might actually have a crush on me?
Oh, for crying out loud!
She was feisty, she was flirty, and at times she was very sweet. But I think it was her voice that really turned people off. So come season 3, they decided to give Janine a whole new look.
I'll show you where they figure out new ways to do stupid things.
So long, Laura Summer, and hello, Kath Sose. And why not? After all, she's been the voice of some of the most opinionated, cynical, irritating, distinctive, and sexy characters in animation. Plus, she's fantastic at accents. So, how bad can she be?
Try to imagine all life as you know it stopping instantaneously and every molecule in your body exploding at the speed of light.
Don't believe Egon? Well, just take a listen.
It flew in through the front door. Weirdest thing I ever saw. Thanks for the use of your wagon, Ray. Heads up, guys. We're out of here.
There's been hundreds of ghosts near it.
1,612 to be exact.
That's bad.
Oh, men.
Now, Sose is one of my favorite voice actresses, but that sounds nothing like Janine. But it's not her fault, because that was the point. It was rumored that an executive said they wanted to change her appearance because her glasses and voice might scare children. Okay, when you have this, and whatever in God's blind spot happened to this guy's head, no, he's not a ghost. A screechy woman with pointy glasses is the last thing to show up on the lawsuits. Changing a character in mid-production is not as uncommon as it should be, and the producers thought the change would blow right past our tiny little kid brains. But of course we all noticed that Janine now sounded like a 15-year-old girl.
Trick or treat.
It wasn't until the 5th season that writer J. Michael Straczynski decided to address the changes in the episode Janine, You've Changed. I hope you didn't miss much sleep thinking of that, Jim Hemingway. Actually, it's a decent episode and considered a landmark among the fans, even though it plays out like an after-school special.
They think you're not good enough, not pretty enough.
I guess you never know how much someone means to you until you might lose them.
I wanted to be prettier so you'd notice me. And you never thought you were a little girl.
They made fun of me and said I was pretty. There's one thing left to do. Destroy him.
You see, Slimer gets a hold of a photo album and sees the differences between the two Janines. He shows this to the Ghostbusters and they come up with the only logical conclusion. A ghost did it. So they decide to find out what caused these changes. And hilarity ensues. Did I say hilarity? I meant to say unlawful violation of personal space. Well, oddly enough, it turns out that Janine has a fairy godmother who can use her magic to make her look any way she wants.
I want to be, half an inch taller.
And bigger breasts.
And a few pounds thinner.
And bigger breasts.
And how about
Bigger
green
breasts.
eyes instead of blue?
They never wish for bigger breasts. By the way, if you have a fairy godmother and instead of a magic wand she uses fire, I would be a little suspicious. Oh my god, she looks so exactly the same. Now here's the twist. You know that fairy that apparently uses her limitless powers to grant you your heart's desire and asks for nothing in return? Well, it turns out she's evil. I said it turns out she's evil. Aw, come on, Raoul. Be a good sport.
Of course!
It all leads up to Egon confronting Janine, who is now being manipulated by the spirit.
Just like all the rest. How much more do you want? Is this good enough for you?
Janine!
How about no?
Then Egon, in a roundabout way, confesses his affections for her. Janine then comes to her senses and uses the power she's absorbed to vanquish the fairy.
Oh, I was so close!
And what exactly was it you were so close to? Oh, and you're gone like 5-second movies. And a lesson is learned by all.
I decided that I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to be something that I'm not. It's okay to like myself just as I am.
The way you are now, not the way you were then.